Hey everyone, how's it going? Gonna fly here solo for just a minute until Dash joins me here tonight. But welcome everyone in to the dive. We're doing the EuroDive tonight. It is Monday. So first and foremost, please do subscribe to the video. All right, let's do this housekeeping things. We need to get people onto the Twitter, the Instagram, the Discord. So there are links down into the description, and just for the Discord, you have a little thing here. Scan the Discord, the QR code that will get you right in. Guys, this is where we have all the conversations. This is where the community just hangs out, does their thing. You know what? It's better if you haven't used it before. It's better for a lot of reasons, and it's just not as toxic, I guess. And you can have an actual conversation with people. It's not like traditional social media. But of course, we still have X, we still have Instagram, all of that down in the description. So please do that. Growing community. Welcome everyone. We're going to talk pretty much the Club World Cup tonight. That is obviously the hot topic around town. So since last show, obviously the quarterfinals have happened. And tomorrow, we got Fluminense Chelsea. And then on the 9th, PSG and Real Madrid. So that's... Man, those are some pretty decent games. We'll go over all of that as well. There's a couple just points to talk about, I suppose. Interesting topics I kind of want to have a conversation with you guys, of course, down in the chat. And of course, if you're watching the replay, get in the comments. We reply to everything, and we'll just keep this a two-way conversation. Or just join us on socials, and you can do it there, however you like. Go over some of this. Actually, you know what? I guess first and foremost, it would go without saying. Diogo Jota, of course, passing away there. His brother on the weekend. Most of you already know that by now. It has been a few days. I didn't want to leave that unnoticed, if you will, right? That's a huge loss for the sporting community. EuroDive. I mean, we do have some Liverpool fans here. EuroDive, and I know there's a couple in the chat as well that join us in the community that aren't even Juve fans; they're just Liverpool fans. So that's a huge loss. Just everywhere. So condolences to the family. Yeah, man, sucks. But without further ado, we might as well just get right into it here. I expected here. We're gonna have to make fun of him when he does show up. Obviously working late. The boys are working. It is how it is. Let's bring up the tree here. The tournament tree. Okay. So there he is. Just as I bring it up, Dash is flying in here, so we will just give him a moment to just connect and get in. This is it. We have Fluminense, Al Hilal, Fluminense winning 2-1. How's it going, bud?
Hey, sorry, I had to readjust location, so I'm a little bit janky. I had to move the microphone and stuff.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, we're just getting underway here. Just went over the housekeeping. We talked about Diogo Jota to start off with, of course, and
yeah, that
right into her, man.
Yeah, no, that was a terrible incident. It sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let's see your beautiful face here for a second. There we go.
There it is.
You're still adjusting your mic. This is different.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, looks like an office
of
some sorts.
I am in my office versus my normal setup.
Oh, very nice. Well, ain't that pretty?
Gee,
boy, you got
making me blush.
Boy, you got a pretty office,
don't I?
All right. Well, we were just gonna start off here going over the final games. Man, the words. I do need a co-host tonight. Fluminense and Al Hilal. Did you watch that one?
I did. I'm a little bit surprised that Al Hilal kind of fumbled it in a sense. good on Fluminense for getting through. South American teams, especially the Brazilian ones, have been representing really, really hard. So, all I can say is good on those guys. But yeah, no, honestly, I thought Al Hilal would win that one, but I guess not. Maybe they need to sign Dusan.
Yeah, maybe Dusan needs to sign with them. So I didn't actually get to watch this one, so I'm glad you did. I'm happy though to see that Fluminense did indeed win. Just get some of that representation. I mean, it would have been cool, I suppose, to get that Saudi representation, the Asian League.
Yeah, it's kind of uneventful for me because you go on and you beat City in a dramatic fashion and then you kind of fumble it.
Well, how good is Fluminense then, really?
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. I don't expect them to beat Chelsea, but
I kind of do. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Why not? We'll get to that, the semifinal stage of it. If you noticed, the thumbnail does say semi. That's True. Because it's the semifinals, but that's also what I got watching Mbappe do that goal. Double entendre for you guys. Vlad, if you're listening, that one's for you. All right, so Palmeiras and Chelsea.
So this one, Chelsea kind of started the game off well. They kind of kicked the game off as far as pressure and kind of aggressiveness. I thought they did well with it. They let Palmeiras get into the game, and then it kind of got a little bit shaky for them after they equalized. Palmeiras kind of looking a little bit shaky on the counter, but Chelsea was struggling to get goals, and I mean they got one off an own goal. They did what they needed to do and move on, I would say, but kind of shaky. I mean, Chelsea's performances in the knockout stages were shaky, but in theory, of quality, they should be far ahead, or as far as ahead of the teams that they're playing on their bracket. I mean, clear favorites to go to the final.
Look at these Brazilian teams; they are tricky.
Very.
Didn't roll over.
No.
Made them work for it at the very least, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And, I mean, how good is Chelsea? It's a big Premier League team, of course. It kind of has that weight behind it, but they haven't exactly been the hottest team as of late either, right? So
no, I mean, as far as the Prem goes, they were the weaker Prem side in here. But again, this tournament's been really wacky. You can't say that teams aren't trying, because I hate that argument, and I hate the argument that European teams are fatigued. It's like, stop it.
No,
they play the least
argument.
Yeah, they play the least amount of games compared to the other ones that are on there, especially the South American teams. They can push 60, 70 games a season easily.
Yeah, and they do. Their squad depth, of course, you have that. Listen, it's hard to make complete parallels. At the end of the day, you're here to see who's the best. They're all confederated under FIFA. They all have some sort of central governance to all of these leagues, right? So just put the excuses aside and play the game.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, we didn't make any excuses when we lost. We predicted it. But
it's because Juve sucks.
Yeah, or they're just not that great comparatively to these heavy hitter teams, right? Like, we would have struggled against Chelsea. I mean, we can. That's a Thursday show kind of discussion, right? But no, for all intents and purposes, like, I would have loved to even see a Juve play a Palmeiras just to see.
Nah, that would have. I think so. That would have been interesting.
And that's what this tournament offers, is just wacky matchups like this. Like, Palmeiras could have got an XG of 0.21, but that doesn't mean anything. You can tap one in out of nowhere.
Yep.
They could just as easily be in the semis right now. Like, none of these were rollovers by any means. And that means, like, the tournament's getting to the fun part. It's getting to the good part.
Yep.
All right, to the other side of the bracket. I'll start with Real Madrid, because there's more I want to get into with the PSG Bayern game. So, you know what? And this is funny, because I didn't know until afterwards that Dortmund got a 98-minute penalty. I was like, I walked away. It's like, okay, I got things to do. It's over. And then, of course, they snatched one back. I should have stuck around for a couple minutes. But, I mean, Real Madrid, not not the easiest either. Like they should have put this away and they fumbled. Look at your boy right down here in the 96th minute. I missed it. Dean Hoyson.
So stupid. So stupid from him. Very, very stupid.
I mean, that game was put away.
Yeah.
Like when I saw it, and that's when I walked away. When Mbappe did that bicycle kick, I was like, I'll just mic drop this game. This is over. I'm walking away on this one. No,
I do think, again, like, for example, that kind of goes to show, like, with Bayern and being, or not Bayern, Borussia being able to capitalize and Real Madrid having shaky moments. Again, it's just kind of like, begs the question about Juve, where it's just like, damn, like Bayern or Borussia were able to force 2 goals out of nowhere, and yet we couldn't even muster any shots. But
both 1-goal games.
Yeah.
I mean, we did it in a more Italian way, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, we did, right? But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I still don't know how I feel about Real Madrid, to be honest with you. Because, yeah, there's some good things that I've seen from Xabi Alonso ball, but at the same time, I don't know. I've seen, like, being up 2-0 and then essentially giving up 2 goals within 6 minutes at the death, that kind of concerns me a little bit. But we'll see if it happens again. If it happens again, kind of look at it a little bit more sketchily. If it doesn't, then, they move on. But yeah, Dortmund was out of this game for a good chunk of it. And then they're just kind of like, oh, extra time, bucket, let's go for it.
Yeah. And like I said, walking away from it, I just didn't see it. Bayer getting that 92nd one. I'm like, okay, a little bit of a fight, 2-1. And then Mbappe just dumbing it.
It was just like, F it. He called game effectively.
Yeah. But then they still snatch one back. So 2 1-goal games for Real Madrid, probably one of the favorites here, and they're not cruising by either.
No.
They got a big test ahead now, of course. PSG.
This one was drama filled.
Yeah. Sure was. 2 red cards for PSG, and still they don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, Donnarumma effectively snapped Musiala's ankle.
Yes, and that's what I want to talk about, actually.
That was woof. I mean, like, for example, he went for the ball, right? Like, there's nothing Donnarumma could do there. Like, it's just he's going for the ball. But holy hell, like, I saw his foot just dangle, and I'm like, oh boy, that's not good.
Yeah,
that was gruesome.
I have a bit of footage here. Most of the good stuff's gotten taken down.
So yeah, I would imagine.
This is what we're gonna roll with right here. So he dives out. I mean, whether he got the ball first or not, I've seen screenshots, which don't tell me anything. But clearly upset. He didn't intend to do this. He is out for all of next season.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that ankle. Oh, gross. Right? Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I guess the discussion I wanted to have, because I love an aggressive goalkeeper.
Oh, I thought you said I love snapping ankles. I'm gonna be like, damn.
No, I'm not that vicious, but I do love an aggressive goalkeeper. And I love that Donnarumma did that, because this is a tight game, right? It's 0-0 at halftime.
I understand the reasoning behind the movement. Like, I understand the reason why he did the move, right? Because you risk a cross. If he's able to get that ball off, there's a cross that could end up being a tap in for a goal. Like, it's the game. I didn't see any malintent from that challenge. It's just, hey, I'm going for the ball. And again, it's a little bit on Musiala too, for awareness too, where it's just like, it's kind of hard to miss Donnarumma charging at you. He's a very big dude.
Huge. And he's in yellow. Like, you obviously see that.
Because again,
getting pressure down as well. It's
the way that I see it is both of them were playing a game of chicken and Musiala lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's honestly what it is. I don't see, like, for example, again, watching
Who
it
would have thought? Like, it's just watching that contact. Who would have thought that?
because like for example, the intent of the PSG defender is either I let that go out for a goal kick or do it because again he's giving up play. Musiala is forcing it. Like you could see Musiala. Like I hate saying this, but it's not a winnable ball for Musiala. Like it's not. So again, that's just kind of like one of those things where you're playing a game of chicken and you lost. Like that's what it is.
And he's coming in through the defender as well, right? Like there's no way he is getting to that ball.
It was a 0-0 game. I don't think again. I don't think Musiala needed to force that or make that play.
I would have. I mean, if I was the goalkeeper, I would have. Because I know I have played keeper in a couple different sports, and I will 100% come for your ankles. You in my fucking zone? This is my house, bitch. You get the fuck out. That's how I roll. And I love that from all goalkeepers.
Again, like I don't. If people were like hounding Donnarumma for it, I think it's a little bit disingenuous. Again, he's a goalie. He's playing in his box. It's his thing, right? There's no like you can't sit there and just be like, well, Donnarumma shouldn't have made that challenge, and it was deliberate, and it's like no, it's not. It's part of the game. It is what it is. You just move on from it. Hopefully he heals and gets better, but at the same time, I kind of look at it where it's just like, if I'm looking at it from a neutral perspective, I'm kind of like, why is Musiala even challenging for that? Like, what are you going to win from that ball? Defenders effectively ushering the ball out, and then you have a big goalkeeper running towards it.
And I mean, there's so much I can. And this is the debate that's happening, right? Because Neuer here on Higuain, we've seen this, right? We've seen this so many times.
Oh my lord!
Knee, whatever. Like the amount of times this has happened.
Nothing like Argentinians and crying. Like, good lord.
German Dave.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
How are you?
We're talking about snapped ankles.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I honestly fell asleep during watching highlight videos because I had like 2 hours to kill until we start streaming and watched highlights, and then randomly fell asleep on the couch, man.
It's all right.
I apologize.
It's all right. We got this going. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, nobody wanted it to happen. It's just one of those things. It sucks.
It's not deliberate. Like, let's just leave it at that. I don't think it's deliberate at all.
Where's Juve? Juve is
no. Hey, Dave. Their next opponent is Al Sofa. They're playing Al Sofa.
When did that come out? They're not. That's before the Dartmouth. What am I saying? Dortmund game.
Dave. Al Sofa.
Oh, on the sofa. They're playing on the sofa. I was like thinking sofa score for a second. I'm like, let's go.
I am dead tired. 1:30 a.m. Just woke up and I understood the joke.
Yeah.
That's a clip. That's a short.
You guys, you guys and your dad jokes.
He's like, you dickhead.
Whatever. Fucking jokes. All right.
Damn, I'm even out here drinking my warm Coke Zero. That.
Oh man, watch out for Al Sofa, man. They get everybody. I've been using that joke for Barcelona fans for the whole month, so I had that on ready to go.
Vlad is here. I had a joke at the beginning. Bad joke for Vlad. I can't remember what it was now. It was that bad. I already forgot. But Vlad, listen to the intro part, and maybe there's a joke in that for you. I can't remember.
Do we want to go into the semis before we go into kind of like the transfer shenanigans that's going around?
Transfer shenanigans. You guys paying attention to
that? Yeah,
I do. No, not to us. But...
I mean, Milan's doing some shit.
Oh, Milan, hell yeah.
Yeah, they've done some things. Como's done some things. Napoli's done.
Milan is doing shit. Chelsea's doing shit. Liverpool Man City already did their shit. Arsenal now kinda.
we're gonna get Jadon Sancho.
I'm so excited.
But if that's
Fuck
what you want to talk about later, sure.
So excited.
No, I specifically said other teams. Other teams are doing interesting stuff.
Yeah. Okay, semifinals then.
All right. So
The semi. See, that's the title of the show, semi. And he came in first.
I think Chelsea wins. I think it's going to be a Chelsea. Here's a hot take: Chelsea Real Madrid final.
I think he gets it. I mean, Chelsea isn't that good. I think Fluminense could be the surprise of the tournament, the underdog. Let's do it.
It'd be nice to see it.
They can be, but this Chelsea team, whether we like it or not, and we had our love when they lost in the group stage to who was it?
So
I don't know. I forgot. They lost.
It was Fluminense, I think. Was it?
Oh yeah.
It's like
and now they meet them again. No,
not it's Flamengo.
Oh,
Flamengo.
Flamengo. Oh, Danilo's team. Yeah,
Danilo
and
Thiago
Sandro.
Silva. Yeah.
We screwed that up at least once every show.
Fluminense, Flamengo, they all start with Fs.
Yeah. No, it was Flamengo, you're right. Yeah, no, and Chelsea has built a very well-rounded team that is pretty young, very dynamic, very physical as well. They're not scared to go into tackles, into battling on the pitch. Like this Chelsea team is and also technically versatile. It is a very good young team that is up and coming right now. And we will find out, I guess, in this game whether they are fully ready or not for what's ahead. Because if they get through this game, I don't see why they shouldn't be good enough to have a puncher's chance in the final.
It's interesting because Maresca has this Chelsea team playing bully ball.
Oh yeah. And this I was not prepared for.
No. I did not expect Maresca to get Chelsea playing bully ball.
They did it last season. They tried, but it cost them in a couple of games. Like you had Nicholas Jackson here and there with double yellows and reds, and Caicedo was stepping on ankles and all of that. But they had that lack of physicality that you still could exploit. But now, the combination they have from that being physicality and technical ability, and they only added to that now with João Pedro. He's such a versatile striker. He can play on the left, on the right. His dribbles are good. He is a good facilitator. He can finish. It's not a 30 goal scorer, but good enough for 15 to 20. And yeah, they want to spread out the goals towards the whole front line, and I guess it works.
Yeah, and again, I kind of think that's kind of like the shtick of this Chelsea team, right? Where it's there isn't anything crazy or anything special. They just play aggressive bully ball.
Yeah,
but could they out-aggress the South Americans? I don't know. There's just something about it. It's not some gut feeling. I feel that Fluminense is just gonna figure this one out.
It would be good. It would be great for the heart of football. It is what I want in the end, but
fans' choice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just think this Chelsea team is ironically deep enough just because of all the minors that they have stashed in their closet that they send on extensive loan deals. Well, he got off, so technically it's all the Diddy. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I just kind of look at it from that where I think Chelsea, the whole shtick of them in this tournament is just them bullying you to a win. Yep. That's kind of how they've won every game. They've just the last game they played, it was just straight bully against Palermas. They bullied them physically. So
the one versus Benfica as well. They dominated Benfica physically. Led it 1-0 honestly the whole way until
it's right at the end.
Until we had the break in the game for 2.5 or 3 hours or what it was.
Yeah, that's And
That's
see,
some
that's a
horseshit.
bit of an asterisk as well on that one, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No, but then the game restarted at the 86th and they conceded that penalty to Di Maria. But then in overtime, when again the game progressed, they seemed more prepared. Again, more physicality, and then they just beat up Benfica. Man, it was counter after counter, and
yeah,
they dominated then
Benfica,
in extra time.
Benfica doesn't have the
So
depth in that
no,
case, right? Like I mean,
no, but
they're a good
but
team, Benfica,
it
but
was still impressive, like what Chelsea did in that game.
yeah, I don't know. I'm still going Fluminense. Fuck you guys.
Fair. Hey, I would be happy. I would be happy.
I'm not battling. I just for once want to give like Chelsea credit because it seems like the billions they spent it finally
It's finally paid off.
Finally paid off. Good lord, that's why
Yeah,
Chelsea's
shit.
the ugly
Well,
stepchild of the London teams.
Speaking of the billions,
oh
yes,
man,
in Real Madrid. This is a massive matchup.
Look
Like
at
the game
the
of
referee for that game.
Davide Massa.
Simon Marciniak.
It's that guy.
He's Real Madrid's best friend.
Again, like how do they get him again?
Alonso Ball.
Ah,
Hey, it's the old strokey. That's how they get him.
So who do we think who's gonna get this one?
honestly, now that we are there, just give PSG this game as well and just make it. Would it be up there for the best season in history of football for a team, like single season?
If they win it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from not winning anything ever other than a league or a cup to like
To win
actually just winning everything.
to win everything, like including the Club World Cup.
Yeah, because
Honestly,
they would get 7 if they won the quadruple at home, and then they won this plus the Super Cup, and then the French and the French
the
Super Cup.
Super Cup versus Tottenham. I'm sorry, but that's a shoe-in.
So is this by divesting your millions upon millions of dollars? This is what happens? Is this is like a
No,
reverse-
they still did. They just invested it on buying like multiple minors.
yeah, they spread it out. They actually built the team that they didn't dump it on an Mbappe, for instance, or
Fucking
Neymar.
finally.
Yeah.
Like they paid an outrageous amount for 18, 19-year-olds. Like let's be honest here, because like everyone's like, oh hey, they built with young kids, and it's like, well, yeah, they fucking career moded the fuck out of that, to be honest with you. Like,
did you guys see the the photo that Mbappe posted on Instagram where it had like all the fake CGI fans on it?
Nope.
Oh, that's something that will get Dave excited.
Well, you can pull that one up then. I'm
Yep.
still looking at
It's on
Musiala's
his
ankle.
Instagram channel if you have that.
Yeah. Obviously. We have an Instagram account, Dave.
No, I just mean whether you have it connected on your PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, of course. How do you think I run this shit?
Hopes and dreams.
Mobile.
Let's say hopes and dreams.
Mobile.
Yeah, get some Instagram
I
going.
generally on my PC I have only my IG logged in, like the our IGs, yeah, on my mobile phone, where I can do stuff remotely.
All right, while you bring that up, I'm gonna throw down, say PSG do get it. I don't know. Is there?
Yeah,
any-
I think PSG as well. Dude, I still Real Madrid for me has too many flaws that PSG can expose.
Well, they don't have Huijsen now, so of course their back line is just gonna be in shambles.
It's gonna be better.
Oh man, luckily Shalaiman came out. See,
No.
I need to go on Instagram more often. There's
I just think that PSG like played such a good season, and they're still like fully fit, and you have Luis Enrique running around barefoot in training, so he is proving dominance. So yeah, why not, man? And like Jeff is saying, we wanna see that Hala Madrid get destroyed. So why not?
Yeah, I actually dislike PSG more than Madrid. So
Honestly, I dislike both. It's just
I don't care.
just put Madrid down for just one season, man. We know they will be there
down.
again.
Is it a dog? Just put him down. Taking a lassie to the backwoods there and putting a bullet behind his ear.
I mean, to be honest with you, the pettiness in me just kind of wants to see Barcelona fans cry because I've been using the Al Sofa
I
joke.
know, but you're always saying you want to see Barcelona fans cry.
No, it's what because like they're all sitting there like, oh, you maul this, you maul that, you maul this, you maul that, and it's like, all right, congratulations, dude. Like, oh, you got a wonder kid. Guess what? Nico Williams turned your bitch asses down.
And signed a fucking 10-year extension.
And then, no, my favorite, and again, this is the Juventino and me coming out. They're like, oh, we could get Yildiz. It's like, no, you can't, because y'all realize that, like, you guys don't have the pull that you guys used to have. Like, nobody gives a shit about y'all.
Def wants to drink some Los Blancos tears. You tell me you can't find some white girl to suck the tears off of in Miami over there? Like, what's going on in Tampa? You're in Tampa. Even better.
Yeah, just
find some white girl and lick her tears.
Yeah, go to St. Petersburg. It's nice little drive to St. Petersburg for that.
There you go. Oh man. So yeah, that's the semis. Starting tomorrow. This is the next couple days. So
yeah.
Well, I guess once we do the what do we call the other show? Juve Essentials. When we do the Juve Essentials show, we will have the results for. So we'll certainly go over it.
Juve Essentials, because Juve ain't doing shit, so we'll cover the Club World Cup semifinals.
And technically, we signed the player.
Did we?
Yeah, we got David.
Oh, we made a video on that. By the way, we did do an actual dive on Jonathan David.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked it out yet, of course, it is there. Now, since we are talking about guys like Sancho, Osimhen, this and that, I just thought this was kind of interesting. I'll throw it to you guys, and to the chat, of course.
We doing transfer talk?
Yeah, well, this is actually something I posted up here on my notes, and that is that Endrick is apparently going to be going on loan.
Interesting.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Probably.
Gonzalo Garcia.
Garcia.
In the pecking order.
Well, yeah, Garcia. Yeah, no, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, honestly, let's face it. He had like a couple of wonder goals. The one where he subbed in for Brazil, immediately scored, and I believe his debut versus Real in the Champions League versus Dortmund. I believe he got subbed in at the 80th something minute, or was it in the Champions League final even?
No,
because he got subbed in a game versus Dortmund and scored immediately as well.
I don't think it was Endrick that got that goal against Dortmund. The 1-0? Oh, I don't think it was Endrick.
I want to say it's Due, which is the other super young.
No, in one game it was Endrick. I just don't know whether it was the final or whether they met this season somewhere in the Champions League. That's
I don't think it was in the final.
No, okay.
I'll probably look it up through his stats. But anyways, I mean he's
and after that, he has done shit. He's not an intelligent footballer. He doesn't get positioning. He's just running around trying to get into some weird spaces and takes shots.
Perfect for Tudor.
Perfect for Tudor.
What?
Just run around real hard.
You phrase it like that.
But I mean, if you need to put some depth into your bench and you're struggling to do a Kolo Muani, you're gonna Osimhen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's be honest.
It never was.
No.
Never was.
So I mean, if you're looking for options, Sancho. Okay, you have Sancho. You have David. Say you move on Vlahovic. There's no Milik. There's no Kolo Muani. I would say jump on this one.
On Endrick?
Yeah.
I don't like loaning players from Real Madrid. You want to know why? Or even like dealing with them, because They give them to you, and then they put this buyback clause, so they're never really yours.
No, it's just a loan. No, it's
Yep.
it's just to get a body, like a third string body in for the season.
I think that. Well, you look. This is where I think Damian Comoli needs to do his job and find a third stringer as a prospect player that you could actually some point integrate, or you flip for a profit.
Yeah, and that would actually be preferable, especially if you had somebody in your next gen right now. We keep on just selling all that off.
Like the only time right now, like, and this is kind of my take on it, the only time I would really entertain the idea of loaning a player is if you're looking for veteran support for this team to help mentor or help develop some younger guys. Like that's the only time, because like you loan them for a season, they come in, do what they do, and then they leave, and hopefully then you got your player will have enough time under them to, take the reins and get rolling with it. I don't see a reason why you would loan a third stringer, right? Like the way that this Juve team is built, it wouldn't make sense to me. I just don't see it as viable or good business.
I'm seeing it from the business side, where if you don't really have to spend any money,
just kidnap a kid.
Yeah, kidnap a kid, you fill out the bench, you're good. You're not spending any money. If we're going to throw around this term Moneyball, which we still need to record that video, which is continuously.
Oh my God. It is such a stupid. I rewatched the movie 3 times just to make sure that I get all the concepts correct on it. And some
parts in the movie are even wrong.
No, I know. But like, I'm looking at it and I'm like trying to Comoli using, it's like, dude, Moneyball. I'll be brief here. The main foundation of Moneyball is they chose a certain statistical anomaly or a number, and they built the team around it.
On base percentage.
Specifically. So what they did was they looked at players that had high on-base percentages, but had distinctions or flaws or issues. Like, for example, the guy that ended up playing first base was a catcher that had nerve damage on his hand.
Hatterberg.
Yep.
Never played first base in his life, but he can get on base. So they used that, and that's where they got in certain players too, where they got in players that were great at taking walks, players that, were getting on base. And people are using that. And again, Dave and I are kind of rolling on the ground here, listening to that term being thrown around, where it's just like, sorry, guys, like the people that are using the Moneyball terminology don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I don't mean this to be as a dick, but like, I'm sorry, I'm just calling it out, because if you look at the players or the moves that we're doing, there isn't a statistical, like, for example, there isn't something there that I haven't seen anything yet, or even like with the players that we're linked to that have a specific thing that they do. Jonathan David is the first move that's been done, and we've kind of broken it down what he is capable of doing, but we're still kind of trying to understand how it works with all the other pieces on the roster. Because what the Oakland Athletics did to max out the on-base percentage was that they actually traded their stars away so those other players could play. So they had to. And that's what's happening to us, right? Is that we're becoming a selling team because the bigger dogs are coming and taking your players away.
Well, that was again for their superstars, right? At the beginning of the season, their superstars.
You talking about like the little Giambi? Because they just didn't like the fucker.
No, the big. I'm talking about the big Giambi. Like the big Giambi,
they had to sell.
They had to get rid of because the Yankees were offering him a fuck ton of money. But the little Giambi, and then also Pena, who was the first baseman that had the lower on base percentage than Hatterberg. Like the issue is like what they were doing for the Moneyball approach didn't align with what the manager on the team was doing. So to spite the manager, they traded Pena, who was the starting first baseman. They traded Gianni because Gianni was a locker room menace, or Giambi. They traded him because he was a locker room menace. And then also to get the pitcher that they want that threw the ball weird, they traded their pitcher. So for Comoli to actually implement that Moneyball approach, you might see certain players that you like go.
Like
Conceição,
McKinney, Douglas Luiz. But apparently Coop Miners is getting. But that's the thing, right? Like that's another facet. Like he he couldn't fire his manager at the time. So it was mid-season. It's just not something you do.
Well, and he was on a 1-year contract too. We're talking about the A's, right? Art. Yeah.
Yeah. The A's.
Yeah.
He was on a 1-year contract. It was mid-season. You're not going to get rid of him. So
No.
because he didn't play the players the manager wanted. So let's clear up things. And the manager is the coach in baseball. The general manager is like the sporting director. So
Correct.
the general manager couldn't get the manager to play what he wanted. So he just said, fuck it. They're traded. Now you don't have that option.
Now you
So
have to play these guys.
What that means is that the whole club has to be on the exact same page. So
Yes.
Moneyball isn't just, oh, this man looked at his stat. Yeah, he did. He started the whole process looking at that stat. And then he said, is that the stat that we need for this team? Yes. Okay. Now, how could we fit that man into the team? He's a catcher that can't throw anymore. Teach him first base. You don't need to throw at first base.
No.
You are literally just putting fucking duct tape on a ship and making it float. That's what Moneyball is. What Kamoli is doing is not Moneyball.
No. Because here's the thing, right?
Imagination.
No, there isn't, because here's the thing, right? With baseball, the on-base percentage is a crucial stat to the sport, because that tells you when your player is up to bat or to hit the ball. If it's above a 0.3, if it's above 30%, that's a really good thing. So if you have a full roster of players that can get on base 30% of the time, cumulatively per inning, you have roughly about a 60% chance that a player gets on base. Player gets on base, you have a chance to score. That is the fundamental rule on baseball. Again, they get on base, whether it's a walk or a hit. In football, the reason why it doesn't work in football, and this is going to pop a lot of these content creators' bubbles here, what stat in footy can attribute to building a team?
Like a single stat. And that's the thing.
Stat.
Moneyball, if anything, if you're talking about the stat, that guy I can't remember his last name, but basically the assistant general manager, which was just a Yale graduate, wasn't even a baseball guy. Economics. There you go. That's literally like the distilled version of Moneyball when you're talking about the stat line of it. He created this on base percentage, which you now see ops. Like if you ever see ops playing a baseball game, like they've actually started just implementing that on a regular basis. And that's to say that if us, the fans, are seeing these stats on a regular basis, everyone's fucking using it. So when Kamoli says, I use stats, no fucking shit. No fucking shit, man. Everyone uses stats. We're using stats. You're using stats. Everyone's using stats because it's just thrown at us in our face. How the fuck do you implement that stat? That's what makes the difference. Everyone's got data.
Exactly, right? And the difference between baseball and footy is it is that individual player. Those stats are attributed from that individual player. Where in footy, like for example, Jonathan David's shooting percentage or his, conversion rate, yeah, you could look at that, but at the end of the day, and I'm just using Jonathan David as an example here. Jonathan David could have an 80% shot to goal conversion ratio, right? That's a stat. The problem is there's other factors that play into that stat. How many opportunities he gets per game? Is that also that's also plays into it? How many balls does he receive? Are they ground balls? Are they in the air? Where does he receive the ball? Football is such a fluid sport that you cannot use a Moneyball / statistical approach to it. Like, for example, getting cheap players from the French league and doing this or getting, X, Y, and Z, that's not Moneyball in the actual essence of what the MLB is doing. That's good business. That's finding good role players and finding players with certain anomalies that are undervalued. Yeah, I get that. Makes sense. However, you loosely using the term Moneyball and saying that Kamoli is a statistical Moneyball guy, where again, he's never done anything like that, because if you look at his previous projects, his teams haven't done anything that's remotely similar to the concept of what it is. It's not a knock on him at all. I think it's just more so giving clarity for folks to understand, because football is a sport that is not very statistical in a sense. Yeah, we can look at expected goals, we can look at this and other statistics and whatnot, perfectly fine. But with baseball, like there is every movement that individual player does, there's an analytic that goes behind it. There are so many acronyms and terminologies that I don't even know all of them. But again, they pick that specific stat. I could see, Gentili picking expected goals, right? That could be the stat that he wants to. Did I say Gentili? I mean Kamoli. I could see that be where he's like, okay, I want a team that has at least a 1 to 2 expected goals per match. And then he's looking for players that can contribute to that XG. You can do that. Whether it'll make sense, right? Whether it'll make sense market wise, sure, maybe, potentially not. But that's how you would have to look at it. And right now, again, just based off of the moves and the things that we're looking at, I don't know too much. I'm not too sure because we're not looking at recurring patterns or recurring things. So
you can say that we don't have the data or the stats.
No, I don't think we do.
You don't.
So, I mean, once we start seeing more players roll in, I think we'll be able to, on our side, to look at it from a numerical standpoint and try to find the correlating pattern or the algorithm that Kamoli is looking to make purchases. But right now, it's just Jonathan David, and then maybe Jadon Sancho. We could try to look into it and see if, and we will dive into Jadon Sancho if that move does get completed. But we'll see where it makes sense. We'll see what his numbers and attributions are, and we'll try to line it up with David to see if we see a pattern. But I think it's too soon for people to kind of use that terminology and use it loosely without really understanding the concept of it. And yeah, the Oakland A's didn't win by doing it because obviously there's only so much money you can pour into it. The Red Sox copied it 2 years later and ended up winning a World Series using the same model,
but with more money,
with a lot more money, right?
A lot, like 3 times the money.
3 times. The issue is, and a lot of people don't understand this, where Juve have the operating budget of the Oakland Athletics in a sense, right? For the foreseeable future. So it's going to take, for this approach to make sense or work, it'll probably take 3, 4, maybe 5 years, because if you get players that pop off in the next year or two, they're gone. Someone's going to offer him a bigger contract or a bigger deal, because here's the issue, right? When you purchase players, and I do apologize because I'm kind of going into some Juve stuff here, but here's the issue: when you sign players at $3-4 million a season, a contract, right? They do well, especially, one season, they just pop off. You bet your ass they're going to the Premier League. You are at risk from any Premier League team. Top 10 Premier League teams, because they can offer $6 million a season like it's nothing. So that's also the other risk that you run when you do this Moneyball approach, lightly, air quotes, this statistical analysis approach, because you might, like, for example, find a youth player that's a great defender, that's great at clearing balls, and your defense looks great with them, and you're only paying him $1.5 million a season. Guess what? Premier League team will buy him easily. They'll offer him $3 or $4 million. So that's also the other risk you run with that. So it's, again, a reason why I say it's not sustainable is if you don't have the budget to sustain it, a la Red Sox, where I can buy you, let you do great for 3-4 years, and I can actually offer you an extension. Or in the Oakland Athletics or Juve's case, I can't really offer you much as far as an extension goes because we just don't have the money for it. That's my TED Talk.
At the end of the day, Moneyball is the name of a book and nothing else.
That's it.
Everything else is make-believe. We fucked it up as fans. It's just a name of a book, guys. But all right, that's
Can I do a short follow-up on Endrick?
Go for it.
Yeah, of course.
So I was right. He only scored 2 goals, one in La Liga and one in the Champions League. But one in the Champions League wasn't against Dortmund, it was against Stuttgart in the 95th minute. So, yeah. 2 goals in, hold up, that is 22, 31. In 37 appearances, 2 goals is not good. I'd like even as a joker.
Well, I mean, he is only 18. He's got certainly a lot of time to grow. He might be one of these guys that we never talk about again in a few years. But we'll see.
Kind of.
He's a Madrid guy, but
it's immense pressure on him, man. Like, because like the transfer was talked about like so long, and then he arrived. I believe they bought him, and he stayed like for 2 years. in Brazil, and when he came over, like he had like such a hype, and I get it. I hope he succeeds, man. It's
Oh, of course you do, right? Like you want him to live up to the hype, see how he does.
Except Dusan. Fuck Dusan.
Oh, he
no
had his chance.
if you get him on loan, of course you take a punt on that and hope for the upside to kick in. But it's hard to see right now when you see him play. Maybe it is because the morale is down and maybe he doesn't give it all, but on the pitches, he doesn't have like great showings. But yeah, maybe it's down to the morale and confidence being down. And maybe if you get him on loan, you get that.
And who am I kidding, guys? Like, this is all ridiculous. We're an Italian team. We're not going to play a 19-year-old.
18.
Well, by the time, next season.
But
he's
19 in 13 days. So
yeah, see, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. When he plays, he's 19. Yeah. You
Whatever.
won.
He's too young.
Won.
He's younger than 23.
Yeah.
So I just thought it would be an interesting conversation.
His agent, Rock Nations.
Rock Nations.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Oh boy. So that's everything I had, unless you guys had topics to bring up. Of course.
I kind of went on that Moneyball segue, so
Yeah,
I don't know. Is
certainly
there
did.
anything? I'm not gonna throw anything until you guys throw something.
Yeah, for me, what I have to think of, or what I think about, and I see a lot of content about it, is Arsenal's striker search.
No,
And
yes,
it's
ongoing.
And it seems like they finally found terms with Gyökeres. And
you sure they don't want Dusan?
Dude, I still don't know who gets Dusan, man. I have no idea what he will do.
The strip club will get him.
Al Sofa?
And Galatasaray is negotiating for Osimhen, 55 million plus 5 million bonus transfer. And Napoli is still not saying yes, but dude, if they get him
Noah Lang. They got Noah Lang.
Yeah,
They're making great moves.
dude, no, Napoli and Bukema and a couple of but that's what you're able to do with winners' money. And quite frankly, like Napoli is dealing pretty decently in the last couple of years anyway. They sell good, they buy good, so
They got Mana too.
yeah, man, good competent sporting director. No, and Arsenal is looking for Gyökeres. It seems like they already agreed on the contract. It's just club to club talk now with Sporting. Sporting kind of wants to be close to around 90 million, I believe, but Arsenal doesn't want to pay that. They would find something between 75, 80 million.
Cool. They'll get 90 million that they won't do anything with because it's just how they are.
Yeah. And then we can finally put the idea to bed with the delusional fans that said, "Oh, Gyökeres to Juventus."
They're not still saying that though, are they? They mustn't.
Oh, I read it in comments on Instagram.
Okay, what you got to do again? Give us the side profile of your face. Just turn a little bit. German Dave. Sorry, German Dave. I need to see the back of your head a little bit.
Oh, even more? Hear this?
Okay, because you're wearing that hat.
Yeah,
it's a little bit Carlos Sainz-y.
Yeah.
You got the curl coming out the back.
I'm trying.
I just noticed that. Thought I'll bring it up.
My hair curls naturally. I don't even know.
Yeah, you got the Carlos look, man. Good.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Silverstone this weekend. What a fucking mess of a race, but it was entertaining.
What a shit show again. But man, fun to watch, right?
Nico Hülkenberg getting a fucking podium.
Finally, man. Finally.
What a race. You know, in honor, we should have just opened
by
up
the way, I have a picture with Nico Hülkenberg because I once met him when I was working at Renault a couple of years ago, and he made a factory visit in Berlin.
Oh, and you worked at Renault. Like, were you a cars salesman? Like, what do you mean worked at?
Yeah.
Renault?
Yeah. I tried
Like
doing
this.
that for a while.
This man sold cars. The more we find out, see, now this is
I
interesting. You were a car salesman. You tried.
Tried.
Didn't work out for you?
No, man. I've found bigger purpose.
I always wondered how that would be as a job, to see if I could just sell cars to stupid people. I'd like to try.
Yeah, they didn't like it. And also, yeah, Renault was yeah. I don't want to speak bad about my old employer, but it was a
But it was Renault.
It was an interesting. So let me throw this to you guys. What do you guys think of Taylor Hernandez going to Al Hilal?
I genuinely think for 25 plus whatever bonuses it was, I would have taken that punt. If that's really the price, I would have tried that. Because we need fullbacks desperately, and that would have helped us out greatly.
There you
Lego
go,
trophies.
But my guess is that Al Hilal convinced him with
the salary.
Yeah. But man, honestly, I would have liked to get him.
I'm kind of curious for what they build at Milan. I'm very curious to see who they start bringing in and start shipping out additionally.
Busan, hopefully.
Right? Apparently, that's the only team he'll sign for if they meet his contractual demands,
which nobody has, other than Arabia, which he's too good for.
Which I just don't understand how this guy thinks he's still that good.
Milan is interested in Moise, according to rumors today.
A lot of people are, yeah.
Could you imagine if they signed Moise?
I could believe it.
Like, if he has the same production that he did at Fiorentina, oh boy, with Kirsten Pulisic and Rafael Leao next to you.
And our winger priority right now is trying to convince Porto to give us Conceição.
Which is, I told you guys that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
No, I know we would try, but we won't get him for the price we want.
Yeah, because like I had a feeling, like I just had a gut instinct where it's just like, yeah, they're gonna. I'm like, at this point, does it make sense to keep it? Because it's like you spent 10 million on them. Now they're gonna want anywhere north of 30 to 40. So that's a huge thing on something that, again, like
that is big.
When we brought him in, I remember us doing the video. Great rotational player. I don't think he's a main guy. I still don't think he's a main guy. And if Tudor goes out and says he's a main guy, Tudor's a dumbass. Just remember that. Tudor is the same guy that said Dusan's the best striker in Italy.
He said that before he actually really worked with him, though.
And again, I know that Dash is going back and forth to that, but I think it is his job as a coach and also as a PR person for the club to say that stuff, even if he doesn't think it. And
doesn't matter. There's receipts.
God, I hope he doesn't believe that. but yeah, he had to say that, man. Like you had, if Vlahovic doesn't,
he said it before. He said it before he joined the team.
I know, but Dash, yeah, but he wanted to get the job, man. No, but look, if Vlahovic doesn't show it on the field, he has to get like gassed up in the media. And that's what he tried, man. Tried and failed.
Apparently he gassed him up to the point where he doesn't want to get sold.
Yeah, I think that would have been a problem anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was funny though, kind of going back to Milan, because Max had a presser and they're like, oh yeah, we heard about Thiago Silva asking you about how to beat Inter and blah blah blah. And Max is like, he still plays? Which I thought was funny.
Jesus. Throwing jabs.
He's like, that's what I told him on the phone. He's like, I asked him, I was like, you still play?
Yeah. And did you see the rules that Max also implemented immediately at Milan? Like no phones in the training facility while eating, only eating breakfast and lunch at the facility, so he can, or so the club can monitor what the players are eating, like
No
looking
ranch
out for
dressing over there.
all of that. No dressing.
Damn, it's almost like he learned from the shithousery that we did.
Yeah.
That's interesting because, like, again, like Max, to me, it seems like a different version of Max that we're going to see at Milan, like a more rigid, more stricter version. And again, I think, like, for example, the exodus of this and that, like, people don't understand. Milan had a very bad locker room last season.
Yep.
Like a very bad locker room that, both managers that were at the team, Fonseca and Conceição, could not manage properly. So
now the other Milan has issues, which I find kind of ironic now too.
It is. So Max going in there, dude. Like I said, don't be surprised if it's Milan and Napoli that are gunning for it, because it's a different kind of Max. I'm telling you this, just based off of what I've read and what I've seen. He came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, but I think his presses will be more fun because he can finally express himself a bit.
Yeah, I
Instead
think
of
so too.
being the PR spokesperson for the board of directors that's not there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a more interesting thing, because they asked him, what's the biggest difference between the last time you coached Milan and this time? He's like, I had a full head of hair.
Oh, he's got a sense of humor. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has that humor, man. I like that with coaches.
Yeah, so I'm happy to see that it looks like he's doing well. IFTV is hyping him up, which they don't have any right to do. Fuck you guys for doing that,
Yep.
because you guys scapegoated the fuck out of him for 2 years. Look, I'm just gonna say, if Max does well, the streets remember all the people that disrespected him for the last 2 years. Terrible this, atrocious this, blah 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 that. Look, man, all I'm gonna say is just watch and see what they can do.
Oh, we will be watching. We'll be watching it all. All right. Well, to not devolve too much into the Juve talk, we will be back in a couple days for that. Any more Euro trash?
No, I just wanted to get my points. Like, if you give me 2 minutes for the Diogo Jota, because I wanted to initially do that at the beginning of the stream,
but you were sleeping.
But I was asleep. So I thought, I didn't want to interrupt with the downer, so I thought let's bring it in at the end.
I did start with the downer.
Yeah, and I'll finish it on the downer.
Okay.
If you guys don't have anything else, like
Okay. No.
Rodrigo De Paul to Inter Miami, for example, Messi making his band even bigger. Yeah, it's the
Messi and Friends FC.
It's the Argentinian / Barcelona retirement home at this point.
Yeah. Oh man.
And Atletico Madrid got Alex Baena, if that's finally an exciting winger, if that's something interesting. But yeah, that's honestly kind of it as well for me on transfer stuff.
All right, let's go get sad.
All right, so this one, at the day it happened, it completely destroyed me, because I'm a closet Liverpool fan.
Wait. Before you get sad, one last funny thing.
Oh, okay.
Paulo Dybala linked to Liverpool to potentially replace Chiesa.
I thought you were gonna be an asshole and say to replace Jota.
I don't know. That's not a Liverpool kind of deal.
That's what I saw. I mean, again, I don't know how true it is or what it is, but Paulo Dybala linked with Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we're finding out is Dash can't deal with death, so he makes more jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead.
The day it happened, it completely destroyed me, because it's a player I watched like for the last 5 years, like every single weekend. And usually I'm not the guy that gets riled up like with celebrity deaths, right? Like, if it's an actor or an older footballer or basketball player, like not even Kobe like a couple of years ago like destroyed me like mentally as much as this one did, because this is a player on a team that I watched for a long time, that I felt like connected with. And then like the couple of hours like after you got the confirmation that it happened, like the details that he got married like 2 weeks before the incident, with the 3 children, like that's not the stuff you pay attention to as a football fan usually. Like I'm not following him on social media. I didn't see like when he got married. And then you find all of that stuff out, and he went with the car because he wasn't able to fly because he sustained an injury at Liverpool with a punctured lung, so he wasn't able to fly. And they were driving basically back to the training facility because they were due to arrive on Friday to report back for training camp. And for that to happen that way is absolutely sad. And what I just want to say, like, to all of you guys out there, like, cherish your life, live your life to the fullest. If you have people that you don't like or ignore, or I don't know, if you have family members that you haven't interacted with for a while, like, keep your connections to the people out there. Like, live your life. Interact with people, be a loving person, be a kind person. Yeah, we don't say be a nice person, be a kind person.
Yes.
And yeah, man, try to live your life to the fullest, man, because a burst tire, man.
Burst tire,
Burst tire.
no. And look, and I haven't posted it anywhere or shared this with anybody, but I had an accident last week on here we go. I was just kind of like how, a burst tire, right? I was at my physical therapist's office doing an exercise. We were trying a range of motion just to see how it was going, how my progress was going, and I snapped my Achilles in a different spot. Simple drill. Last rep for the day. I'm sorry?
Confirmed now, Achilles again.
Yeah. Separate part of the tendon itself. I was doing the last exercise, the last rep on it with, just simple in and out with my foot. Just steps. Literally the last exercise before I could go home, and it popped. I could walk. I was just like, I was devastated.
Yeah.
Because I was a month and a half away from being able to go out and play again. Now it's still too soon to call it, but it might be early retirement for me.
Well, don't say that just yet.
So,
but I mean, I think the point is that you never know.
You never know. That's kind of what I'm saying, right? Because unfortunately for me, it was in the lower part of my Achilles where there's not as much blood flow, where this one occurred. The good news is they're not recommending surgery. They think it can heal on its own, just because I have proper flexion of my foot now, and I could actually bear weight on it before I couldn't on the original injury. And I didn't feel my tendon pull apart or snap away. So they're hoping that they're saying, preliminary tests is my tendons are hanging on by threads, but which again is better because it can heal easier. And again, did tests today. Tests are looking positive, but again, it's still too soon to say. But again, I think the main thing for people to understand is like, hey, look, like anything, it can be taken away in an instant. Even something as routine as just doing an exercise with your doctor, a tire puncture. Don't take things for granted.
Yep. Okay, so how do we outro this.
I can't make a joke here. It's too dark. I can't make a joke.
Oh shit. Maybe we'll
Oh man,
just...
it's all good. Like we tried to connect it with a positive message. So I think it's okay to end it that way. Love the people around you, show them love, be kind to them, build relationships, live your life, and yeah. If you're a religious person, pray, because for me praying helps, because it yeah, honestly it helps, like believing in a higher purpose, in someone up there that is guiding. So if some of you are religious out there, I pray that helps. If you're not, still live your life to the fullest, and be a nice person out there, and don't be a dick. So yeah.
Oops.
Be a kind person, don't be a dick.
Don't be
And
a
on
cunt.
on that note, I think that's a good way to roll this one out. I'm not even going to play the music. See you on the next one.